Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I am not going to tell you how many takes this video took because that's kind of embarrassing. I realized that I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. And if I stumble over my words, so be it. So welcome to my channel. My name is Jackie. I created this channel to share my crafting journey. I love to craft. I love doing all sorts of things, crocheting, painting. I just started learning how to do resin a few months ago. And um, I wanted to not only share my journey, but hopefully inspire somebody else to do crafts. Crafting can help in so many ways, whether it's mentally, if you just need a break from the daily work grind, or make gifts. Everyone in my family, my friends, they get handmade stuff from me all the time. I generally get a good review from it, but it makes me feel good that I am taking the time, effort, and thought process to make those that I love something truly from the heart. I hope that I can help you guys reach that level of joy, whether it's again for the emotional or relaxing format of crafting. There are a lot of YouTube channels that are singular based. You have crochet channels, painting channels, etc. That's not my channel. I get bored and burnt out. Way too easy to be doing the same thing over and over and over and over for weeks, months, years on end. So I tend to do a couple weeks with one craft, change to another, just to not get burnt out, because no one wants that. So that's my purpose, to hopefully inspire somebody to get crafty. I am more than willing to be your guinea pig if you have a craft idea that you wanted to try and makes you a little nervous. I will try it. I am not a professional with anything that I'm doing. All I'm doing is self-taught. So practicing is what I've been doing. That's how I've gotten better and better with everything that I do. There will be a variety next year in the summer. I'm hoping to do some gardening videos, maybe, because that can be crafted. You can be painting the pots that the plants go in, or designing where the flowers go, a variety of different things for that. So that is my channel, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So I think what we're going to do today is crochet a little heart. Now, I know that not everyone knows how to crochet. I understand this. I self-taught crochet, let's see, I think it's been 2 years now. And the more and more I practice, the bigger and bigger things got. I've learned lessons such as, let's see here, we have different hook sizes. We have the big ones and the little ones. I don't know if you guys can see that. Look at that, I'm an influencer now. So you see the different sizes there? That determines how big your project goes. The first time that I crocheted something big was a stuffed Peppa Pig for my neighbor's little girl. And it was supposed to end up being this big. It ended up being a life-size Peppa Pig, almost bigger than the little girl. So I have learned my lessons in all sorts of crafts, and I hope you guys will be able to see that it's okay to mess up. It's okay. It's not the end of the world, and half the time that mess up, no one even notices. So before I talk too much longer, I am going to switch over to the crocheting part, and I'm glad you're here with me, and I hope that my videos can help you guys venture into the creative world and bring some kind of different type of joy into your life. Hey guys, today's craft is going to be a crochet heart, If you search YouTube for crochet pocket heart or crochet pocket hug, you'll have a bunch of videos showing how to do this. I don't believe there's an original creator for the pattern, therefore I didn't tag anything in the description. If ever I have a crochet pattern that has a specific creator, I will put the link to their original video for that pattern in my description. Anyone that creates crochet patterns deserves the credit for it. That's one of my goals, is to learn how to create crochet patterns, but I have not mastered that one yet. So this is what we're making. A general rundown for crocheting for anyone that has never done crochet or would like to start crochet, anything like that. First thing is to get a crochet kit. Any craft store carries these. I think I got this online at walmart.com. I've seen them on Amazon, I've seen them on Temu, I've seen them Hobby Lobby, Michaels, etc. You probably just Google crochet hook kit and you'll have 100,000 pop-ups. Each generic crochet hook kit comes with size 2, which I think, yeah, I moved it over here. Sorry, guys. From size 2 to size 6. So it goes 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, etc., up to size 6. Now they do have sizes lower than 2, and they do have sizes higher than 6. Those are just more of specialty orders. You'd have to go search for those. The bigger the hook, the bigger the loop, which means the bigger the product. The smaller the hook, the smaller the hoop, so the smaller the project. Also, each kit comes with tapestry needles, which help you to sew in your ends to have a more professional finish. Comes with stitch counters, row counters, and little pins to keep your spot while you're crocheting. I won't be using any of that on this one because it's literally one row, super easy, no real counting. I mean, I think the highest you count is 3, so it's not that big of a deal. As far as yarn, there are I can't even put a number to how many types and sizes of yarn that I've seen just walking in Hobby Lobby. You have very fine yarn, you have more of a medium yarn, and then you have thicker yarn. You have the finger crochet yarn, which is really, really thick. You have fuzzy yarn, sparkly yarn, some that have little hoops on them to make them kind of fuzzy. Just sky's the limit for yarn. The way that I choose, they do have suggestions on the type of or the size of hook to use with each yarn, but how I choose is 2 main factors. One, I want to make sure the hook fits the yarn. So for example, this thinner yarn with the size 2 hook, it fits in the hook, no problem. It's yanking on it, it's got a hold of it, you're good to go. Now the size 2 with this thicker yarn, it's really not, it's hanging on to one of the strands of the yarn. It's not hanging on to the whole thing. It kind of disappears. So those two would not go well together. These two would work great together. It would be a very small heart just because of the thickness of the yarn and the size of the hook, but it would be a heart nonetheless. Same for thicker. I would use the size 6, or if you get the bigger hooks, size 7 and 8 would probably still work with this. But you can see that it's on there. It's not, the yarn isn't swallowing the hook, and it just fits. So this heart would be bigger than the heart created by this thinner yarn and smaller hook. I hope that made sense. If you have any other questions, by all means ask. This is this is what made sense to me when I was learning, because when you are watching YouTube videos about crochet, they literally show you a skein of yarn and say, this is medium weight and I'm using this hook. That's all they really tell you. And I can tell you the majority of the yarn I own, the tag says medium weight, and a whole bunch of them are different than the others. This is more of a generic yarn. I have some that are silkier, so when you're crocheting it, it makes it thinner when you pull on it. I have some that are stiffer, so when you're crocheting it, it doesn't have the flexibility of this, therefore it comes out with a different size to it. That just never made sense to me. And this is how I determine what yarn and what hook goes together. Again, I hope that made sense. Okay, let's stop talking and get to the pattern here. I'm going to move the stuff that I don't need. This one here was that yellow medium weight, and I used the 4.5 hook. So this is something to compare to this thicker yarn in the size 6 hook. That's what I'm going to be using, just so you guys can see the difference between the sizes. So I'm going to show you how I hold the yarn, I hold the hook. Every video you watch, someone is going to hold the yarn and hold the hook differently. Whatever works for you is the best way, okay? Because if you're trying to match exactly what someone else is doing, you're going to end up cramping your hand trying to get it into some way of holding something that just doesn't fit you. So don't worry about if you're exactly matching my hand motions or how I'm holding something. If it works for you and it gives you the same end result, then by all means do it that way. Okay, so the first step is magic ring or magic circle. There's a couple different ways to do this. I've seen a variety of ways of holding it and using your hook to make it. Everybody does crocheting slightly different, which really didn't make sense to me in the beginning, but I figured out that how I do it doesn't match what all the videos show, so it makes sense now. So for the magic ring or magic circle, what you'll do is you'll take the end. This side here is coming from your skein or cake, and what you'll do is you'll just take your first two fingers and you wrap it around, okay, just like that. I usually try and have about 3 inches of tail on the end, just so that there's enough room to work the circle in the project. And the other side I will hold with my pinky. That way it's taut. It's not cutting off circulation. You do not want to do that. But it's taut enough to where it's not flopping around and you can't function. You'll take your hook, go underneath the first piece of yarn and over the second, and you'll turn your hook to drag that through, okay? Now this part you literally just twist, okay? You see how it crisscrossed there? You just twist it. It's super easy. I've seen a lot of videos that I couldn't figure out what the crap they were doing. This is what they were doing. So you take my finger and I pull that down to the bottom of the hook. The reason I do that is because I have a tension problem in my crocheting. I do things tighter than they should. And when you're crocheting tight and you have it down here, then that makes the loop not big enough for the hook to go through. So you want to make sure the loop is big enough for the hook to go through. If you don't have a tension problem, you don't have to do this part, but that's just my suggestion for anyone that finds that their projects seem to be tighter and harder to work than they should. So after you twist it, you take the hook and you go under the yarn, and then you want to pull it through that loop. Okay, so your magic ring has been started. What I do is I take my fingers out, and you see the tail here, because you want to work the tail around as you're doing your crochet. So I hold the ring just like this, so the knot is right above my finger, but there's still space for my hook to go in to actually do the crocheting. So we started the magic ring, or completed the magic ring. Now we have to do the actual crocheting, okay? So you have the hook here, first loop there. We're going to chain 2. All that means is you're going to take the yarn. I usually do up and over. I take the yarn, pull through the loop. There's one chain, okay? Up and over, pull through the loop. That's the second chain, okay? Chain 2, we're done. Now, the next couple stitches do sound scary, but they're not. Don't worry. We have 3 treble crochets. Now, there are UK terms and there are US terms. I am in the US, therefore I'm using US terms. A treble means that there are 3 loops on the hook. Okay, so this is a single crochet, this is a double crochet, and this is a treble crochet. So you have 1, 2, 3. Once you get the 3 loops on there, you're going to go through the magic ring, okay, and then you're going to grab the yarn and pull it back through. So now, let me get my yarn situated. Now you have 4 hoops on this one hook. It looks complicated and it does take a little bit of technique, but it's possible. I promise. I figured it out. You can too. You're going to take your yarn and put it over your hook just like that, and you're only going to pull it through the first 2 hoops. So now we have 3. 1, 2, 3. Going to do the same thing. Pull the yarn through 2, 1, 2 hoops. I always have a problem with that second hoop there. I don't know why. It's just, that's just how my crocheting goes. Okay, so we have 1 set, second set. This is the 3rd set. Up and over through the hoops. You have just done a treble crochet. Now we have to do 2 more. So we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going through the hoop, grabbing the yarn. So now we have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to grab the yarn and go through the first 2. So we have 3. Grab the yarn, go through the second 2. See, every time that second one gives me trouble. Okay, now we have 2 left. Grab the yarn and through. Okay, we've done 2 trebles. Got 1 more. Let me get some yarn here without knocking it on the floor. Okay, so I'm going to hang on to my ring. We have 2 trebles. This was the original 2 chain. We have 2 trebles. So we have 1 more treble to do. We have 1, 2, 3. Okay, through the ring, grab the yarn, pull it through. Now we have 4. Grab the yarn, first 2, grab the yarn, second 2, grab the yarn, last 2. Okay, we've done 3 trebles now. Now, I know you see how I'm holding my yarn. This is what's comfortable for me. I've seen people hold it a wide range of other ways. Whatever works for you to make sure you're keeping some tension. You don't want to keep it too tight so that everything is tight, but you want to make sure you keep some tension and still allow the flow of other yarn to come through. Whatever works for you. I've seen they also make rings so that you can just kind of hook the yarn on there, because sometimes you do get a little rope burn with it running past your finger. But this is I use my pinky a lot in my crochet. All right, so the next step, we have 3 double. So since we did treble, which meant we had 3 on the hook, double means we have 2. So double, 1, 2. So we're going to go through the hoop, grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn. We're still doing only 2 loops. And then the second. Okay, so there's one. We got double, 1, 2, going through the hoop. Oops, pulling the yarn back through. Trying to keep this yarn thicker than what I usually use. Okay, then we're going to grab the yarn, pull it through the first 2. Grab the yarn, pull it through the last 2. Okay, so we've done 2 doubles. You can see a little heart showing here. So we're going to do the last double through the hoop, grab the yarn up through. I'm going to pull the yarn through the first 2, grab the yarn, last set. So we have the 2 chain, the 3 treble, the 3 double. Now we're going to chain 1, which is just pulling it through. And then we got to do 1 treble, 1, 2, 3. Go through the ring, grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn, first 2, okay, second 2, and the troublemaker. There we go. And then the last 2. So, look at that. You have the first half of the heart. Now we basically have to do everything we did this side, only backwards. So we're going to do the chain 1. And as you can see, I'm kind of running low on space here. You can squish, just kind of squish it. And look, now I have more space to work with. You're going to end up squishing it all together anyways, so that it makes a nice pretty heart. So don't think that that's going to hurt anything. If you need more space, you squish away and make all the space you need. So we did the chain 1. Now we've got 3 doubles. So we have 1, 2, through the loop, pull it through. Get your fingers together, Jackie. Hold on, I'm going to undo that one. Sorry, guys. My hand gave up on me. Okay, we got the double. So 1, 2. Going through the loop. Grab the yarn, pull it through. I'm going to pull through the first 2. Pull through the second 2. Okay, so there's 1 double. Okay, through the loop, grab it, pull it through. First 2. Second 2, maybe. There we go. Okay. See, even with thick yarn, I still do things really tight. That's just me. I don't know if I love crafting, but I guess I still stress out about messing up on anything with yarn. I love to cross stitch, so that ends up really tight too. It's just me. I think I stress no matter what. That's why I like to craft so much. Okay. We did, okay, so what do we got? We got 3 trebles, 3 doubles, 1 treble, 2 double. I got 1 more double to do. Okay. Come on, there we go. Okay. Now we need 3 trebles. So we're going to do 1, 2, through the hoop, pull it through. I'm kind of going a little faster now since it's literally the same stitch repeated over and over, but I don't want to fast forward it, do that time lapse thing, because sometimes people still need to see what's going on. 1, 2, okay, so this is the second treble. Oops. First 2, second 2, last 2. Okay, so we have 1 more to go. Right, did I miscount? Got 3 treble, 3 double, 1 treble, 3 double. Yep, I have 1 more treble to do. First 2, second 2, last 2. Okay, now we chain 2, so we're just going to grab it, pull it through, there's 1, grab it, pull it through, there's 2. And now we're going to slip stitch. Now before we slip stitch, I am going to pull on this, and then you can see why it's called a magic ring, because it magically disappears. Look at that. Now I'm going to kind of yank it a little so that I can get the slip stitch in there. The slip stitch is the finishing part, okay? So you're going to take your hook, you're going to go in the hole, pull the string through, the yarn, sorry, and you're just going to, it's kind of like a single chain, but you're going over the ring. Let me explain that a little better. Okay, so when you're chaining, you're not working in the ring. You're working on its own. That's a chain, okay? I'm going to yank that out. When you do a slip stitch, you're working in the round. So you're going to put your hook through, grab it, pull it back through, and then you're going to pull it through the chain. Okay, now that should be the last one, but I like to ensure it's not going anywhere. So basically I do one more chain and then I pull on that, because when you pull on it, it makes a knot. So first you want to take the end, you want to pull on that as hard as you can. There are some yarns that are very fragile. You don't want to yank too hard because it'll break, and then you have nothing to yank on and you have to do the hard over. Okay, so you see that's closed. Now the last chain that I did with the slip stitch, I'm going to pull on that, which makes a knot. So it's not going anywhere. Then we're going to cut this. Okay, we're going to cut that. We're going to pull that out. Okay, and then also, again, I just like security, so I'll tie these two pieces together. You do not have to do that. If you don't want to do that, don't do it. This is just me being paranoid that things are going to unravel like I don't know what. Okay, so I made the knot. Now for these pieces here, what you can do, I don't know if my needles, I take the tapestry needle, and I'm not sure if it's big enough for this yarn because this is pretty thick yarn. Yeah, it went. Okay, so you put it through the tapestry needle. The kits also, I think they come with needle threaders. I'm not 100% sure on that, but you can get a pack of needle threaders for like a couple bucks. Or you can use thread, put some thread through in a hoop, put the yarn through the hoop, and then yank the thread through. That should thread the needle. It really just depends on the size of the needle and the size of the yarn. So what you'll do is you'll thread the needle, and you'll find some hoops. Come on. Of course it's being, because I did it so tight. Okay. And you'll sew it through. Okay. Now usually you want to kind of sew it through a couple, but I kind of don't want this video to be, you know, a half hour or 45 minutes. So we're just going to do that. Okay. Kind of do it close to it, and then I usually stretch it a little. That'll pull it back underneath here so that it's hidden. I think I still have some fuzzy here, so I'm going to trim that off. Okay. And we'll do the other side. Maybe? Nope. Let's try that again. All I'm doing is flattening the yarn, in case anybody was curious. Okay, so I'm going to go on this side. Really did do this pretty tight, didn't I? Okay, I'm going to yank that through. Okay. Okay, kind of hold it up, cut it, stretch it out a little. That'll pull it through. I do still have a little fuzz here, so I'm going to trim that off. Okay, and look at that. It's a heart. Now, like I said, the different yarn sizes. So this is obviously the yarn I used for this one. This is the yarn I used for this one. I used the 6mm hook. Can you see that? There you go. On the big one is I used the 4.5. Yeah, 4.5 on this one. Okay, so this is the size difference. Obviously, bigger makes bigger and smaller makes smaller. But I wanted to make sure you guys had some kind of what the difference in the yarn is. So there's your little crochet heart. I love these. I also like to stack them. So you can take the tapestry needle and just take some pink yarn and literally sew it together. And then you have a thicker hug or thicker heart. But yeah, I think they're cute and they're super easy. A good first time thing, at least you learn at least 4 different stitches for this, but it's quick and easy. I took a lot longer than it should have, just so that I could go slow for you guys. I think this should take less than 5 minutes to do. But there it is. I hope that was entertaining for you guys. I hope it helped somebody, inspired someone to try crochet. I have some other projects in mind for resin for my next video, and I'm pretty excited about it. So I hope to see you guys there, and I hope you have a fantastic week. And yeah, enjoy crafting. I'll talk to you later. Bye.